Perfect.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Feels good.
I feel like there's so much here, like dead space, but I guess I'll fill it.
Yeah, whatever. We'll try. Is it filming?
Yeah, it's recording.
Looks good, probably.
All right.
You can see all the Christmas presents that you have behind you.
I have so many Christmas presents.
I bought them for her.
Just one.
5-minute Christmas tutorial.
5-minute Christmas tutorial. We are going to fill a Christmas bulb.
Whoa. Let's get to it.
Really cool, hey? So we're gonna put something Christmassy in this little guy. I bought this at Michael's for $4.50.
Running out of time, Mara.
Let's jump into it.
Here we go.
You said not to rush it.
You're Russian?
You're a turd. Okay, so we are making a quick ornament using origami and a fillable ornament that you can get. You can get them at Michael's. They're super cheap. I think I paid like $4, maybe less. I think they were like 50% off, so it was probably like $2 from Michael's. Anyway, so here I'm folding a paper crane, and I'm actually not going to try and explain these directions because you can Google how to make a paper crane and there will be a bazillion hits on Google that will walk you through the steps, videos, all kinds of stuff. So I'm just not going to explain that because it would be just too hard to verbalize each little step. But if anything, my best advice is to make sure your points, your tips are always perfectly even. You don't want like uneven, like you always want your corners to hit corner to corner. That's my best advice with most origami patterns. And the origami paper I'm using, I got at a hobby store, but they sell it at Michael's now in the paper section. They like all kinds of origami paper, so it's super easy to get your hands on. It's definitely not an exclusive thing, like it used to be back in the day. You can actually get really expensive origami paper that is really soft. It almost feels like a fabric. And it's called washi, which is probably familiar to most of you who do scrapbooking because now there's washi tape, which is the same sort of idea. It's just like a very soft paper. And we're almost done with the crane. Also, with the crane, paper cranes, I always choose when you go to make the head of the crane, I always choose the kind of uglier tip. So like you have the 2 points, the tail and the head. I always choose the uglier one to make the head. I don't know why. There's a bulb. I took the top off, so the top just like literally pulls out. So don't worry about that. It just yanks out. And this is a plastic ball, so you can't break it or anything like that. And then that's some fishing wire, some fishing line, just clear so that you can't see the thread when it's hanging in the bulb. I thought that looked better than like an actual piece of thread. That's also a little bead, a little glass bead. You might recognize that from the kanzeshi hairpiece that is out or is not out yet. But another little bead from Michael's. And then that is an eyelet. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, it's got a little loop on the end, like just a little tiny ring. Once I've straightened it out, you can't really see, but yeah, there's a little ring on the end of that. I tie the fishing line to that before I do anything else. So before I thread it through the crane, that kind of thing, just tie the fishing line onto that because the fishing line's just finicky and like you don't want to be tying the knot and then like ruin the crane because you're fussing with it. And then here that's a sewing needle, and I'm literally just using the sewing needle to poke a hole through the crane. So if you feed it through the bottom hole of the crane and then pop it through the top, just to create that opening that you can feed the eye through. And there we are. I'm just going to feed the little eyelet through the top of the back. And then I'm going to feed the bead onto that. So basically it kind of looks a little bit backwards, but I found that this technique works the best so that you don't smash the crane, fussing with all the other little parts. So I just grab the top of the eyelet, I'm not grabbing the top of the crane, I'm grabbing the little eyelet, and then I'm cutting off the excess with wire cutters and just taking some needle nose pliers to twist the end just enough so that the bead stays on, just literally just like a hook on the bottom. And there you go. Easy peasy. And that way the crane kind of still stays in like together nice and neat, doesn't get all smashed apart from you fussing over the other parts. And then here, this can be a little bit tricky, but I found the best way is to just feed it through like bottom through top kind of deal. You might find that the crane's head maybe pokes out a little bit, like it goes straight again, or the wings kind of tip up. So mine, the head stayed put, the wings went up a little bit higher than I wanted. So my technique is to just grab the crane by its tail through the top of the ornament with some pliers or some tweezers if you have some. And just be gentle with it. And give the tail a little bit of a tug, and you'll see that the wings kind of spread along the opening of the bulb, and just give it a little tug and it'll push the wings back down. That I found is the best technique, so you're not fussing with like tweezers inside the hole. And then I put the top back on. So I just feed the fishing wire through the little hole at the top of the cap. Though it has two little holes where that wire goes through. So I just feed it through there, put the cap back on the bulb, and then kind of measure out how I want the crane to hang on the inside, and then I just tie it off. So I just kind of wrapped it around the bulbs, like the little hook there, and then I just tie it off. And that's it. Really, really easy. Just make sure you tie your little, like your knots, if you're using fishing wire, just like double tie them just to be safe. And there you have it. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it for a second.
Is it okay?
Yep, I think we're good now.
What happened there?
I don't know, it just automatically stopped. It said recording automatically stopped.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
That's annoying. So, what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Pretty nice, eh?
So, 5 minutes means we have no time. What do you have to say about that?
Check out the blog for more pictures, and check out the blog because I'm going to fill more bulbs with other little ideas, but I'm not going to film it. You're just going to go to the blog and see what I did.
Thanks, guys. I have something important to say.
Okay.
So when it comes